Yes, I'm so excited. It's time again for writing. This is lesson number 8. I hope everybody's doing well with their writing. Hopefully by now you are close to the end of your story, maybe finished your story, maybe starting a second one. Okay, but we're still learning about writing. Even if we're finished our story, we still have things that we can learn to make it and to make our writing better. Okay, so when you read your own story, I want you to ask yourself this question. Is this how my story is supposed to feel? Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is when a writer writes something, they have a way that they want their readers to feel. So they're writing it to make their readers feel happy, to make them feel sad, to make them maybe feel a little surprised. Okay? So as the writer, you've got to make sure that whatever you're putting down on paper is going to be how your reader feels as well. And I'm going to show you a couple of, actually 3 examples of this. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a story called Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I'm not going to read the whole thing, not in this video, but I may bring it up in another one. Well, from the title, doesn't look like it's going to be a very happy story. And if you look at the cover art, there's a boy in his bed. It looks like he's got toys, but he does not look happy. So let's find out and see what the story is like. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard and by mistake I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Whew, okay, that's a really, really long sentence. And this boy doesn't look happy. Let's continue. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found the Junior Undercover Agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. Hmm, still a lot of bad news here. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be carsick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. How does this author want this story to feel? We might say the author wants us to feel a little bit of despair. Despair means that there's no hope. This character is really unhappy, and we can see some reasons why. The way the author writes the story makes it easy for us to feel that way too. When we read it, we can kind of feel how Alex feels. It's okay to do that in a book sometimes. Let's look at a different example. Now, this is a book called Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Graders really shouldn't be reading it. And I'm not going to read too much of it here. I only chose it because I know it's pretty popular. There's a cartoon that some of you may have seen before, but this isn't really a book that we should be reading in second grade. But let's look at it, look at a piece of it, and see how it feels. September, Tuesday. First of all, let me get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary. I know what it says on the cover, but when Mom went out to buy this thing, I specifically told her to get one that didn't say diary on it. The other thing I want to clear up right away is that this was Mom's idea, not mine. But if she thinks I'm going to write down my feelings in here or whatever, she's crazy. So just don't expect me to be all, dear diary this and dear diary that. Oh, how does this author want this story to feel? Does it seem like it's going to be a little bit less serious than the last one? Maybe it feels a little bit funnier? Okay, we can read the character's words and get a feeling that maybe he's not happy about something, but he's not exactly angry. Okay, so this is kind of a funnier one. And there are lots of funny parts in this book. Okay, so we can tell when we read a book how an author wants us to feel, how an author wants that story to feel to the readers. And remember back in reading, we asked ourselves how a story should be read. Okay, this is kind of related to that. Now, I'm going to show you one of my stories. So this story is called Bad Mood Monday. What a terrible day yesterday was. I had forgotten my homework. Our team lost the big football game. I had a horrible stomach ache. Mom didn't even keep her promise to take me to the mall for new shoes and ice cream. I love ice cream. It makes me so happy, especially strawberry with lemon sprinkles on top. It reminds me of summers on the boardwalk. Uh, hmm. Something doesn't seem right here. How do I want my story to feel? That's what I'm thinking now that I'm reading it to you. Well, my title is Bad Mood Monday, and I start kind of like the writer in Alexander's book starts by talking about all these bad things that happened. But then look at this yellow part. I love ice cream! Exclamation mark. It makes me so happy, especially with strawberry and lemon sprinkles on top. It reminds me of summers on the boardwalk. When did this get so happy? That's not what I wanted my readers to feel. I was talking about feeling sad and upset. I was going in a different direction. So, this is what you need to do. You need to read your story. And if you find something that's kind of going in the wrong direction, you've got to make a change. I'm going to show you a change that I'm going to make. Okay, now I've taken those yellow words out and I've edited it. I've revised my story. That means I've made changes. Now let's see if it sounds more like the way I want it to sound. Let me start again. Okay, I had to clear my throat. Okay, no, seriously, now I'm ready. What a terrible day yesterday was. I had forgotten my homework. Our team lost the big football game. I had a horrible stomach ache. Mom didn't even keep her promise to take me to the mall for new shoes and ice cream. Now that I think about it, not even ice cream could cheer me up today. Ah, did you see what I did there? The white part is exactly the same. I haven't changed anything, but I saw that the yellow part made my story go in a happy direction when that wasn't what I really wanted to do. And you know how I realized my story was going in the wrong direction? I read it out loud to you. That's a great way to know if your story sounds the way you want it to. So now what I want you to do is think about how you want your story to feel. I want you to read it aloud. Ask yourself if that is what you want it to sound like. Read it to someone. Ask them how it sounds. If you read your story to somebody and it's supposed to be funny and they say it sounds sad, it might be time to make a change. If it's not the way you want it to be, revise. Revise means look at it again, make changes to it. That is what the great writers do. And you are a great writer. I know you have it in you. Okay, so we're not just writing and going to the end. We are reading it. Like I told you before in an earlier video, we're checking our commas, our capital letters, our punctuation, all of that stuff that we practice in the daily edit. But we're also checking the feeling. Does it feel the way I want it to feel? If not, we have to go back into our notebook. Maybe we have to cross out a line. Don't erase anything. Leave what you wrote before because maybe you had a good idea that you could use later or in some other story. But rewrite those sections. Make them sound and feel the way you want them to. And that's how you know your story is going to come out great. Okay, girls and boys, so don't stop writing. Keep going. Keep those pencils moving. I'll send more paper home if you need it. I'll even send you pencils if you need them. Keep doing a great job. I know you can do it, and I want that story to be exactly what you think it's supposed to be. It's almost like cooking. I know what a great pizza tastes like. And when I make pizza and take it out of the oven, if it doesn't taste the way it's supposed to, I'm not really happy with it. So go back, revise your stories, and make them sound and feel the way you want them to. The end.